If you want to be an amazingly confident speaker, you're in the right place. Mr. Bishal Sarkar is known as the King of Confidence, and he's the highest paid public speaker in India. He's a best-selling author, producer of the famous show The Kingdom, and he's also the founder of Rock the Stage, which is the #1 most practical public speaking course for subject matter experts. For downloading your free practical public speaking toolkit, visit bishalsarkar.com. Here's the man, the King of Confidence, Mr. Bishal Sarkar.
Have you ever seen a child come to his parents and say, "Mommy, Daddy, show me a PowerPoint"? Hey, welcome to the episode 8 of the Daily Confidence Show. I'm your host Bishal Sarkar, your practical public speaking mentor. I'm also the author of the book I Love Public Speaking, and I'm known as the King of Confidence. And we meet every single day, Monday to Friday, right here during the Daily Confidence Show. And this is for you if you are a subject matter expert with a lot of years of work experience and you are struggling with some confidence problems. Maybe you're struggling with some challenges with public speaking or presentations, or maybe stage fear is a big problem for you and you really want some practical tips and techniques and ideas to overcome your stage fear, become a confident speaker, connect with your audience, and rock the stage. And that's exactly what I do right here every single day. I come to you Monday to Friday and give you the tips that you want right now in order to become a champion, a powerful, and an amazing speaker. And today we are talking about storytelling. How to tell a persuasive story. You see, a persuasive story can absolutely give you amazing results because no kid ever comes to his parents and says, "Mommy, Daddy, show me a PowerPoint." No, they say, "Mommy, Daddy, tell me a story." Why? Why do you think kids do that? Because as human beings, we are wired to like stories. You see, remember this line, facts tell, stories sell. Facts tell, stories sell. So if you are an IT professional or a project manager, or maybe you are a subject matter expert, or maybe you want to be an entrepreneur, and maybe right now one of your roles in your profession is to speak to different kinds of audience members, maybe your clients or senior management team or your team members, and you really want to give powerful presentations. And a big part of that has to be storytelling. And here's what I want to say to you. When I say storytelling, I don't mean, old-fashioned type stories like once upon a time. No, not those. It's about stories that you are telling from your life. Some personal examples from case studies, third-party client stories, or your personal experience about what you're saying. Now, why should you tell stories? Few reasons, but the biggest reason is #1, when you tell stories, that is credibility. You see, you can say a lot of things, but people always think in their mind, how do you know it? How do you know it? When you tell, hey, this is my point, and this is the story behind how I have come to this point. When you tell the story, now people know that, he knows the point because he had this experience. See, when you have experience about the topic, now people cannot doubt you because now you have credibility. That's the biggest reason for storytelling. And the second biggest reason for storytelling is people like hearing stories. But you have to remember, it should not be too long, otherwise people will switch off. So how long should be a story, and how to tell a particular story in the right way? And what should be the do's and don'ts of storytelling? Well, that's exactly what we teach you, an entire complete module about it in our practical public speaking course, Rock the Stage Ultimate Formula Experience, that we do right here in Bangalore. We are starting another group very soon, but it's not for everybody. It's very selective group because we are very selective about who we help and mentor. If you're ever interested in applying to see if you can get selected, make sure you go to our website bishalsarkar.com. But before you do that, before you go to the site, I want to give you some tips right now in order to master your storytelling. So come back from the break and I'm going to give you some tips and techniques right now.
Hi, I'm JP Tiwari. I head a renewable energy company here in Bangalore. And top 3 challenges I had before coming to the boot camp here was nervousness, forgetting the words, and self-consciousness. After coming to Doc the Stage, I've become more confident because I focus more on audience. I've learned how to use body language effectively. Vishal promised me before joining Rock the Stage that he will help me become a confident speaker. Yes, I am a confident speaker now.
Welcome back. You are listening to the Daily Confidence Show. I'm your public speaking mentor, Bishal Sarkar, and today we are talking about how to tell a persuasive story to influence people. Now, I have a lot of tips, but I'm going to give you some tips right now because this show, it's not that long, and I really want to give some content-rich ideas right now. So write this down. Your story should have a structure, and the basic structure, there are a few different structures of a story depending on what's your purpose in the storytelling, but one of the structures is something called before, after, journey. Before, after, journey. 3 steps. Number 1, before. Number 2, after. Number 3, journey. So you talk about what was your situation before. Then you talk about what's your situation after. That's now. And then you tell the journey between the before and after. Okay? So many people make the mistake of telling the before, then journey, and then after. No. That kills the suspense. You want to tell the before, then the after, then the journey. Let me give an example. Let's say I'm speaking about health. Well, few months ago, I really had less energy. Every single time I used to have lunch, after lunch I used to feel sleepy, and I never used to work a lot because I felt tremendous amount of laziness in my body. But if you fast forward everything till today I'm 10 times more energetic as a person. In fact, every single time I work in the afternoon, I feel more energetic as the time goes, and I'm looking forward to the next work. I'm looking forward to the next moment with my family, and I only feel tired at the end of the day because I want to sleep and I want to energize myself because I'm looking forward more to tomorrow. So how did that all happen? Well, I actually followed a few 3-step process that I learned from one of my fitness mentors, Raj Lakshmi Mohan, and I did these 3 things, and these are the things that happened. Boom. See, that's a quick 50-second story. Before, here was my situation. Now, here's my situation. Here is the journey that I did. You can do the same thing. So that's the structure. Now, while talking about the before section where I was, there are 4 things you should keep in mind. I call it the 4 F's of connection. Again, can't really go into details, but here's the thing. Number 1, you should talk about your fears. Anytime you talk about your fear, people connect with that because people have fears and they want to know what are your fears. Number 2, F, is you want to talk about your frustrations. What are you frustrated about? What are the things that frustrates you? See, in my story that I just now told, which is, by the way, a real story, I said my frustration was that I really didn't have much energy, right? When I share that, and when you have the same level of frustration, maybe about your health, or maybe you know somebody about who has the challenge, you connect with me. That's very, very important. The third F is flaws. Flaws. Now, many speakers and most speakers are afraid to talk about their flaws. But people who are great speakers right now, they don't fear talking about their flaws. So talk about what are your flaws. Maybe you're not perfect in your speaking, or maybe you're not perfect in your time, or maybe you're not perfect in your health, or maybe you're not perfect about in your leadership skills. While you talk about your flaws, people connect more with you because now they know that, oh wow, this guy is genuine, because this guy is not positioning himself as the perfect guy. This guy is positioning himself as a human being. He's talking about his flaws. Maybe he's a genuine guy. Maybe I should listen to him even more. Boom. Mission accomplished. Number 4 F is failures. Anytime you can talk about your failures, anytime anything you failed, that's amazing because people love that. You know, people really connect with me knowing that I was not a great speaker. I was not, see, failures, right? Flaws. This is my flaw. Sometimes I make mistakes in my communication, though I'm the highest paid speaker in India. Come on, that's the truth. Now, whenever I say to people that I really failed in many presentations, I really failed in different businesses before I went on to become successful, people love that. Why do people love that? Because that's the reality that most people are living by. Many people are not perfect. Most people have their fears and flaws and frustrations and their failures. And when I share my failures, people connect with that. When you share these 4 F's, people will connect with you. And if you don't know these 4 F's, again, go rewind, listen to it again, and make them happen. Number 4 is the number 4 was the failure. And here's the next tip for you. Remember that you should know your message of your presentation down cold. We actually call it the catchphrase. A catchphrase is a phrase that you use in order to sum up your entire presentation in one line. If your whole presentation was summed up into one line, what would be that line? Correct? And what you want to do is that you want to use that line, the catchphrase, multiple times during the presentation. Why? Because whatever people hear the longest, remember the strongest. Whatever people hear the longest becomes the strongest. They remember that as the strongest mind. So, for example, my biggest catchphrase is, you know it, public speaking is not about perfection, it's all about exactly connection. So when I use the line over and over again, people know me for that. You have to be known for one particular line, especially in your presentation. If you're giving a presentation about a project, or if you're giving a presentation to a client, think about it. What one line can sum up your entire message? And repeat that line over and over again. Here is why. Nobody else is doing it in your office. So when you do it, you instantly differentiate yourself as a confident, powerful, and persuasive speaker. So that's very, very important. Another quick tip I want to give you about storytelling is remember to use dialogues in your presentation. Dialogue. When I say dialogue, I'm not talking about dialogues from movies. No. I'm talking about dialogues as a direct dialogue. See, there is a difference between a narration and a direct line, direct dialogue. For example, a few days back, my fiance came to me and said, "Bishal, you are my king." That's a dialogue. The narration would be, a few days back, my girlfriend came to me and told me that I was her king. See, when I say it in narration, it doesn't have that power because I'm just reporting. I'm like a reporter. Oh, this happened. But when I say it in a dialogue, it has a power. So maybe in your presentation, you can say something like, instead of saying, a few days back, my boss came and said that I should take this new responsibility of this project. Instead of saying that, say, a few days back, Mr. Naresh came to me when I was having lunch. He looked at me and he said, "I believe that you can take this new responsibility because you are a great leader." And I remember looking at him and saying, "Thank you for giving me this responsibility." He smiled and he walked away. Boom. See, that's a story right there again. Few 3-line story, but that's exactly how you do it. That's exactly how you use dialogues in your presentation, in your story. And the final fact, the final tip that I can afford to give you in this short show today is to give time and date to your presentations and to your stories. Meaning, instead of just saying it happened many years ago, give it the time and a date. Okay? So for example, instead of saying, just a few seconds ago, I was talking about the story of Mr. Nagesh or Mr. Naresh coming to me. I was having lunch, right? So it was more like an afternoon time. And you can imagine that I was either eating it in a cafeteria or I was eating it in my office. You can visualize a few things. Now, those things make the story much more real. So instead of saying, my daughter recently told me this, say, last night at about 9:30 p.m., my daughter came to me in the drawing room and said, "Papa, don't smoke anymore." See, I give a time and a place, and that's exactly how the stories become much more real and powerful. These are just a few tips. I have so many much more tips to share with you in the next program at Rock the Stage if you get selected. And I'm really, really looking forward to helping you master your storytelling. I mean, honestly, storytelling is what I teach for about 3 or 3.5 hours consistently. And not only that, after that, you come to the stage and practice some of your business storytelling for your situation, for your unique situation in your office. So you can use my best public speaking, storytelling resources, and I'm going to share all of that to you in Rock the Stage if you get selected. But before you come to Rock the Stage and before you go to bishalsarkar.com, stay tuned, because after this break, I'm going to tell you about a wonderful gentleman that I have met a few years ago one afternoon, and how meeting that gentleman has changed my life. So stay tuned.
Hi, my name is Madan. I'm an IT professional. I have traveled from Chennai to Bangalore to attend Bishal's Rock the Stage program. So before coming to Bishal's Rock the Stage program, my problems were stage fear, body language, and the confidence on stage. So after coming to Rock the Stage, I have completely transformed my body language and become a confident speaker. What I like most about Bishal is he is highly energetic. It is electrifying energy. Once you feel him, you get it. Infectious energy that Bishal has. And the other good part I like in Bishal is he practices what he preaches. So there is no second opinion there. So he practices what he preaches. No matter where you are, which part of the country you are, this is the program. Rock the Stage program is the best for you to come out, to overcome your fear, gain more confidence on stage.
I remember this afternoon just like it was yesterday. It was about 12:15 p.m. I was in a meeting and the meeting just ended. And I remember this man wearing a blue jeans and a white shirt with a mobile phone in his right hand coming into this meeting room. And I remember he looked at me for a second, I looked at him. And there was something about this man that was very charismatic. He was very confident, and I really respected this man the moment I saw him. A couple of minutes later, while having coffee, I went near him and I introduced myself. I said, "Hi, I'm Bishal Sarkar." He looked at me and he said, "Hi, Bishal, I'm Akash Agarwal." And he shook his hand with mine with complete confidence. And there was something in Akash that I really, really respected and connected with. I didn't know what it was, but I felt like, man, this guy is somebody I can trust. And I remember a few moments later, after chatting a little bit, Akash said, "Bishal, we should stay in touch. This is my cell phone number. Give me a missed call." I gave him a missed call, and we shared cell phone number. And after that, we have always been amazing friends. And a couple of years back, we got to chat about my vision and everything, and Akash became one of my best friends. And not only that, he became my business partner in our speaking and consulting division of our business. And Akash is one of those people that I really, really respect, not because of his confidence only, but because he's trustworthy. I mean, the moment when you come to Rock the Stage, when you meet Akash, you will see his genuine care for people. And Akash is one of those people that really, really is trustworthy, and so can you be the same thing. Here's my point. Every single time I see Akash, I learn something new from him. And, a few days back, I was just thinking about it, my meeting with Akash and so many other wonderful people, but especially with Akash, I have understood that good people meet good people. Good people meet good people. So if you're a good person and when you go out there, be open to meeting good people. Don't just restrict yourself thinking, I can't meet anybody, or I shouldn't be talking. Just go and introduce yourself, or just give a smile and say hello, or give your cell phone number, or exchange business cards and start connecting with people. Don't just throw business cards. Don't just show yourself as the perfect person. Show yourself as a human being. People love that because good people meet good people. And I'm so glad that Akash and I met. And just a few days ago, I was at Akash's home having dinner at his home with his wife and with his little daughter. And we were having so much fun. And I was realizing how much grateful I am because I met this good man and his entire family. Because good people meet good people. What kind of good people are you meeting today? What kind of good people are you going to be connected with 5 years from now? Charlie Tremendous Jones, one of the greatest speakers of all time, said, "You will be in 5 years exactly the same you are today, except for two things: the books you read and the people you meet." Who are you meeting today? Not just on Facebook and sending some messages and tagging people, but real meet, connecting with people in a deeper way. When you do that, your life transforms because good people meet good people. Today, we spoke about storytelling, how to tell a persuasive story. And tomorrow, we have an amazing, powerful, and really, really interesting session. But before that, here's what I want you to do. I want you to subscribe to the channel right now. And if you have a question that you want me to answer via the Daily Confidence Show on Friday, make sure you go to bishalsarkar.com/now and submit your only one question about public speaking, confidence, or presentation. We are getting hundreds of questions every single day. We really don't have time to pick all 100 questions or 200 questions. But if we choose your question because of your unique feature of your question, if your question is unique and different than most people, and if I choose to answer your question, first of all, I will answer your question via the Daily Confidence Show on Friday. Number two, I'm going to send you the recording personally. And number three, I'm going to sign one of my books, I Love Public Speaking. I'm going to autograph it and send it to you as my gift. That's right, you're going to get an autographed copy of my book, I Love Public Speaking, for free. So don't wait. Go right now to bishalsarkar.com/now and go out there and submit your top questions. Again, question, not questions. One question. Come on, man. bishalsarkar.com/now is the website. I hope you have a great time today. My name is Bishal Sarkar, always reminding you that public speaking is not about perfection. It's all about connection.